G'day everyone, welcome to round 5 of the NRL 2007. It's Footy Tips TV, and just to give you an update, Lana Taylor, wife of Rabbitohs coach Jason Taylor, how'd you go last week with your tips?
Not the best. It was my worst week so far.
Oh.
I got 4. But how did you go, Jimmy?
One of my best weeks. I got 4.
Well, there you go.
And I'm still 4 tips behind you, but remain very confident that this week is going to be my week. So let's get into it straight away. The first game is Penrith up against Parramatta. It's at CUA Stadium on Friday night. 7:30 kickoff there. And Lana, how do you see this one? No Trent Waterhouse for the Panthers.
No, I mean, that's a big loss. But, I mean, even looking at them up against the Titans, who would have thought they would have gone down against the Titans?
Oh, they only played for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I just wasn't expecting that. And then the Eels absolutely smashed the Raiders. So it really puts you in a bit of a quandary when tipping this one. It
does.
However, I am going to see a reversal of fortunes for both teams this week and see the Panthers get the victory.
Tamana Tahu back, Nathan Kalis, which is huge. He's back. Brett Finch is back for the Eels. But in saying that, I agree with you, Lana. I think the Panthers will get the cash on Friday night. The other Friday night game, it's the local derby. It's the Titans up against the Broncos, and it's at Suncorp Stadium, despite the fact it's a Titans home game. 7:30 kickoff for that one. And like we said, the Titans last week surprised everyone.
They did. They did surprise me. I mean, look, Luke Bailey, Scott Prince, they were just so fantastic. Having said that, I always find it tough to tip against the Broncos. It is at Suncorp. They are so strong there. I will tip the Broncos in this one.
Lockie and Hodges playing well, and I've got to give a rap for Dane Carlo. I think he's playing really well as well. So the Broncos in that one. For mine, the 5:30 game on Saturday, it's the Dragons up against the Storm. It's at Oakey Jubilee, and the Dragons were atrocious on Monday night against the Sharks, Lana.
They were, and you have to have a very strong reason to tip against the Storm. The Dragons are not it. The Storm by a country mile.
I don't have a strong reason either. I'm going to tip the Storm in that one. The first 7:30 game, I don't know why it's on Foxtel. It should be on free to air. The Bulldogs and the Sea Eagles at Telstra Stadium. It's going to be a cracker. The undefeated Sea Eagles against the resurgent Bulldogs.
Well, they were back to their best last Friday night, unfortunately, against the Rabbitohs. And they've got Mark O'Mealy coming back this week, which just strengthens them even more. So it's going to be fantastic. They rise to the occasion. They always do. And they're going to want to bring the Sea Eagles back down to earth.
Willie Mason's playing well. Sonny Bill Williams is playing well. Andrew Ryan's playing well. Rennie Matua. Daryl Millard had the best game I've seen him play for the Bulldogs on Friday night against the Rabbitohs. In saying that, though, Brent Kite, I think he's got a lot to play for, and he has been playing really well. Potentially an Australian jersey on offer for him there, but he's going to have to take on those Bulldogs pack pretty much on his own. I'm not sure that's going to be enough, so I'm going to tip a Bulldogs victory there.
So am I, Jimmy.
We're all the same.
We are.
Okay, let's get a different one here. The Warriors and the Cowboys. The Cowboys just sneaking home last week. This week they've got the Warriors at Mount Smart Stadium. It's a 12 p.m. kickoff over here in Australia, 2 o'clock over there in Auckland. And can they end the Cowboys' unbeaten run?
I think they can.
Oh, God.
I never thought I was going to tip against the Cowboys for a while, but I love the Warriors, particularly down New Zealand. I think they're just so strong. And the Cowboys did show that they are human last week. They really got an ugly win over the Tigers. It was all based on Matt Bowen. So I would go with the Warriors.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Warriors as well. I think they want to make that Mount Smart Stadium a bit of a graveyard. They've got a great record at home. And the Cowboys, I think Jonathan Thurston's will be doing a lot of tackling. They'll be just running everything at him just to try and tire him out. As a result of that, I think the Warriors will get the cash. So that's 5 the same. Here we go. This might be a difference. The Rabbitohs up against the Knights. It's at Blue Tongue Stadium. It's a 2 p.m. kickoff on Sunday. And it's no Joey Johns, and he's not even sitting in the stands waiting to come back. He's never coming back, Lana.
I know, but maybe that's a good thing for the Knights to be able to actually finally move on, rather than thinking as if we're missing Joey. Maybe for once it's like, you know what, he's not coming back, so we've now got to step up and do the job ourselves.
And who steps up?
Jared Mullen, I think he really will step up. Danny Baderis, will certainly have to shoulder a lot more.
Danny Baderis came back last week, and I know he had been suspended and not injured, but his performance after no game time was exceptional last week against the Melbourne Storm. I thought he outplayed Cameron Smith, so that's saying something.
It is, absolutely.
Rabbitohs. We talk about it in the same breath, probably not doing justice to Andrew Johns, but David Kidwell is an important player that's out for the Rabbitohs in incredible circumstances.
I know, a freak accident, but a co-captain out, and he was one of the biggest buys for the Rabbitohs. Again, I think the Rabbitohs need to basically move on and think, you know what, we never signed Kidwell, we're not missing him, we're actually a strong team without him. When you look at his replacement, Dean Witters off the bench, now starting in the side, I think you could unleash the beast and what I like to call Dino Magic. So I think we'll see some Dino Magic and a Rabbitohs victory up there at the Central Coast.
And Joe Nullavow, an international, comes in on the bench. So it's highlighting the depth that the Rabbitohs have. This was a game that I thought if I could tip a draw, I would. So that's how close it was. In saying that, because they're not at home, they're at Blue Tongue Stadium, I'm going to go with the Knights.
Ah,
so
there you
there we
go.
go. Our first difference. What a surprise it was, the Rabbitohs
We'll watch that game together, Jimmy.
Okay. The Tigers and the Sharks at Campbelltown Stadium on Sunday. This is a 3 p.m. kickoff, so it's your Channel 9 game. And this is an interesting one too. The Tigers, no wins, but they're better than that.
They are better than that, and I would have tipped them, except I can't go past the strength of the victory of the Sharks over the Dragons. Brett Carney, Greg Bird, they were all so strong.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tip the Sharks.
I'm going to tip the Tigers in that one. I think they lost the first game by 2 points. They've had 2 golden point games. I don't think they're playing that badly, and Benji was back last week, so I'm going to tip the Tigers in that one. There's another difference. And on Monday night, now this is a game with a great deal of interest for certain people, not many of them, but certain people. It's the Raiders up against the Roosters at Canberra Stadium. It's a 7 p.m. kickoff. You can hear it on Triple M 104.9 in Sydney. And Lana, who's going to win it?
I think the Raiders will win it, and the only reason I'll be tipping them is the home ground advantage, which I often talk about down there at Canberra, for a night game in particular. Can't go on form for either of these two teams, so I go on the home ground advantage.
I was so disappointed with the Raiders last week after the week before they showed how well they could play against the Knights. I think they're back on familiar turf, and I think the Roosters are really struggling. They need something special. They're not going to get it this week, so Raiders for mine. Now, Lana, I butchered mine last week. Can you give us your tip straight away?
What was it? That's right. A person who never made a mistake, never made anything.
Oh, that's very good. Now, I'm going to make mine a little bit topical.
Don't butcher this one, Jimmy.
Okay. Given the fact that Andrew Johns has retired from football, and I'm going to say it's great to get out of the rat race, but you've got to learn to live with less cheese, Joey. Less cheese. Until next week, see you later.
See ya.